I'm Cass, and even though I refuse to accept that it's almost 2022, my bullet journal tells me otherwise. So let's go ahead and hop into making some New Year bullet journal spreads. Hello, and welcome back to yet another bullet journal setup. Confession time, I'm actually really bad at setting up New Year pages and actually using them. But I wanted to try again and switch things up. What you see me working on right now is a 2022 cover page, which I've never done before, but I had to for the aesthetics. This art piece is based off of this picture drawn by Kirby Rosanes, who is one of my favorite artists I've discovered recently because I adore his detail work. He's insanely talented, and I even went out and bought a 0.05 fine liner for this because I don't usually use anything smaller than a 0.1, but it was definitely needed. I'll admit this was a bit of a rush job because I'm very behind in my bullet journal right now. I spent all of November focusing almost solely on rebranding my Etsy shop and launching products that I neglected sketching any new pages in my journal. And that's also why my December bullet journal will be coming out after this video. I haven't even started sketching December. But I still like how it turned out, and also this cover page is the most detailed out of all of my other pages for 2022, which I did as sort of a motivational page because I want to get back into doing more detailed monthly covers. I've just been busy trying to balance my full-time job on top of all of my many hobbies, and since we're understaffed at work, it means longer days and more hours for me, which in turn means less motivation to work on my hobbies and more motivation to just fall into bed and sleep. But all that aside, I chose this image in particular to draw because one of my goals next year, depending on the state of the world, is to try to become a flight attendant. I think it'd be a really fun job, and it would mean I get to travel a bunch. And if that doesn't pan out, I'm actually fine to stay at my current job, and instead I'll just do some solo traveling. Once again, this depends on how the state of the world is in, because back in 2020, I wanted to travel, and we all know how that went down. The next page I set up was my year at a glance. This is actually found in front of my cover page because originally I was just going to set up a year at a glance page and a books read spread before deciding to experiment with some new pages. Plus, this video would be kind of boring if I only made 2 pages. So anyway, I wrote 2022 across the middle using a Tombow Fudenoski brush pen, and then eventually added a drop shadow using a Tombow with the color code 89. I know many people complain about having to write all these tiny little numbers, and I really thought my hand was going to hurt, but after creating monthly cover pages like these, this was nothing. I do always get stressed that I'm gonna mess up the numbers though and have to start over, but to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure everything worked out fine. I already have some events I can put in the year at a glance tracker, and all of them are concerts at this point, and I am very excited because I 100% believe that 2022 will be the year of concerts, and my bank account is going to feel that, which it already kind of does, I'm gonna be honest. My next page is quite niche to me, and that is a page to mark all the K-pop dances I want to learn and the K-pop dances I do learn. All I did was write K-pop dances on the top and added a black border around the edge of the page, which is something I do on all of my New Year pages in order to separate them from the rest of my journal. Again, this is very niche for me simply because this essentially is my workout tracker. I really hate working out, but if I work out doing K-pop dances, then it doesn't feel like exercise. So I wanted a place to jot down when I see choreography I really like and I want to learn. Next to that, I have a goals page, which I have divided into 3 sections. One for personal goals, one for creative goals, and the last one is for social goals. And by social goals, I mean social media, whether that be a certain amount of videos to make or a certain number of subscribers, yada, yada, yada. I've been doing a little bit of research on goal setting because up until this point, I've never really set goals other than kind of broad things like graduate high school. But now that I'm a college dropout out in the real world, I actually have time for my own personal growth and to get comfy with the thought of not achieving all my goals and being able to try to set realistic ones for me. So that's something I'm really looking forward to brainstorming, and I might even try my hand at making a vision board. We will see. The next page is my social media growth tracker. I am an absolute stats nerd. I love collecting numbers and data about myself. And so, of course, I had to create a social media growth tracker. I tried doing a line graph in 2021, but I'm really bad at setting subscriber goals and predicting how many subscribers that I might gain. For example, I made my YouTube graph in 2021 go as high as 415 and my Instagram tracker only go up to 525. And I have nearly double the amount of both of those numbers, so you can imagine I could no longer fill out the line graph very well. So instead I'm just gonna make a list of numbers. I have 4 different categories, one for my YouTube channel, one for my bullet journal Instagram, at doodlewithcass, my shop to track the number of sales, which is Oakleaf Arrow Studios, and then my shop Instagram account by the same name of Oakleaf Arrow Studios. Very fun, and I love numbers, so yeah. Next to that is my most used spread every year, which is all the books I read throughout the year. I know many people draw like cute little bookcases and fill them in, but I like this particular spread to be very cut and dry with just a long running list that I separate by month. I also didn't make this spread too fancy because I plan on trying my hand at doing a reading journal in 2022, and it felt impractical to create 2 fancy spreads for tracking books. That's why I did a very simple spread. Oh, and I also added 2 more blank pages with a black border because I read a lot of books and I need a lot of space. My last page I saw on Instagram a lot throughout this year, and it's a theme gallery. So essentially you just draw a mini picture correlating to what your theme is each month, and I'm very excited to see if I'll actually keep up with this. And if I do, I'm excited to see how cool it will look at the end of the year. Also, if you've seen any of my bullet journal setups, you'll know that I cannot do minimalism. It's not that I don't like the style, but I just keep adding details and adding details and adding details, and then suddenly it is no longer minimal. However, a technique I've learned for pages I need to actually use is to make them as empty and minimal as possible and create it to where they'll only look good if they're filled in. And that's what I'm trying to do for a lot of these beginning New Year pages. They're empty and minimal right now, but they'll look even better if I actually fill them in, which is the goal. I went back to fill in some finishing touches that I missed the first go around, and then here is a look at what all of my New Year's spreads look like. I'm very impressed that I didn't mess up and write 2021 on any of these pages, so go me. And now the next challenge will be seeing if I actually put them to use. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you did like it, please be sure to give it a like, and also consider subscribing if you want to see more bookish and bullet journaling content from me. But that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one. Toodles! Ooh, or should I like tip my hat? Good day.